Ja, dann wollen wir mal gucken. Sound. Oh, das ist aber laut, So geht. Und der Titel? Mit Tastatur und Maus. Braucht man die dafür? Ja, dann Mausbeschleunigung. Tasten- und Schaltflächen bearbeiten. Aha. Gehen kann man also auch. Interagieren ist E. Oh, ich habe ja nichts verändert. Zurück. Video. Laptop-Energiesparmodus. Ich spiele ja nicht am Laptop. Anti-Aliasing deaktiviert. Das machen wir. Oh, geht nur bis 8-fach. Geht nur bis 16-fach. Housing, machen wir aus. Deaktiviert. Multicore-Rendering. Das geht nur hoch und dann. Mal gucken, was jetzt passiert. Ich höre was. Na? Hallo, Spiel? Spiel geht noch. Gut. Position oben. Ja. Kapitelauswahl. Oh, das knispelt so schön. Und Möwen. Jetzt fehlen. Vogelzwitschern war auch schon, ne? Jetzt haben wir doch schon fast alles. Ja, und herzlich willkommen zu The Beginner's Guide. Ja, ich habe mir das mal spontan angeschafft. Das ist von dem Macher von Stanley Parable. Ich weiß jetzt nicht so genau, was hier auf mich zukommt. Ich konnte es bloß eben nicht starten. Ich weiß gar nicht, wie ich das jetzt hier mache, aber ist egal. Ich hatte heute einen Scheißtag. Ich habe ab und zu mal ein bisschen so Kopfschmerzen. Ich will jetzt aber nicht rumjammern, aber ich habe jetzt keine Lust, Fernsehen zu schauen. Das habe ich die ganze Zeit gemacht, wenn ich nicht geschlafen habe. Ich will jetzt doch noch ein bisschen was spielen. Dann brauche ich was Unaufregendes und ich glaube, das ist genau das richtige Spiel. Starten. Es werde Licht. Bitte Audio einschalten. Oh. Ach, Steuerung. WSADM Maus.
Hi there. Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Wreden. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011.
Aha.
We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment. But what I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here. So, it's 2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made.
Ich hoffe, ihr lest alle mit.
One day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Aha. Also, ich fasse das mal kurz zusammen. Ich hoffe, es hat jeder was mitgelesen von dem da oben. Ich habe ja die Untertitel eben gerade eingestellt. Also, es geht hier um seinen Freund Coda, der Spiele gebaut hat, die er aber nur gemacht hat aus Spaß an der Freude und nie veröffentlicht hat. So, mal gucken, was hier passiert. Wir haben eine Waffe. Achtung, Flüstermaschine aktiv. Sofort evakuieren.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Oh. Hier kommen wir nicht durch. Das soll wohl Feuer darstellen.
You can
Aber
click
hier.
to fire the gun.
Ja, geht, aber ist kein Ton. Oh, Arena-Kampf. Pixelfehler.
It kind of looks like this game was abandoned mid-development. For
Ja,
instance,
ist was
you have this
dran.
gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere. But then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Hier verändert sich auch ständig was. Ah, da komme ich raus. Der Weltraum.
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Ach, da unten sieht man den Boden vom Universum. Ah, so sieht man, wie Spiele gebastelt werden. Steckt in einem Würfel. Hier geht's nicht weiter. Hier geht's weiter. Hier geht's weiter. Oh.
Apparently, this space station has a labyrinth on it. Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
Huch. Oh, ich brauche nicht durchs Labyrinth. Das hätte eine Stunde gedauert.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting.
Oh.
The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Ah.
Hey, you there, in the engine room.
Ja.
You can save us all.
Oh.
That beam is powering the whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature.
Ich furz rein.
Your body could stop the beam.
Ich furze.
It's so
Oh,
much
nicht so
to
laut.
ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you give yourself?
Natürlich kann ich einen Furz opfern. Komm, mach die Tür auf. Oh. Das gab wohl eine Explosion.
What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Was passiert? Nochmal. Oh. Ah. Mein Furz steigt nach oben und nimmt mich mit. Da kann man das Level sehen. Ich kann nichts machen. Ich kann
The
nur...
beam causes you to start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this
das
larger
Labyrinth.
chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
Er hat noch ein Spiel gemacht. Die Vergangenheit liegt hinter dir. Oh. Oh. Also vorwärts und seitwärts geht nicht. Rückwärts geht.
Yep. In this game you can only walk backwards.
Ah, erklärt. Ich kann also nur rückwärts gehen. Die Vergangenheit liegt hinter mir. Huch. Ach, ich kann ja auch nicht seitwärts gehen. Ich muss so ein bisschen, so. Mhm. Oh, hier kann man wieder runter gucken. Hier geht's nicht.
So it's a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative.
Die Zukunft
It
war
is
nicht
less
zu
advanced than the
sehen.
previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete.
Ja,
Code
hier.
is trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
Tatsächlich, da sieht man wieder den Boden. Wenn sie stehen bleibt und sich umsieht, wird es klarer. Ja, das stimmt. Aber bin ich eine Sie? Aber wenn die Zukunft hinter einem liegt, was kommt denn? Na? Wie soll sie dann die Kraft finden? Sich hier zu stellen. Wo muss ich denn jetzt
It's a
hin?
short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that.
Aha, das war das
Which to
Spiel.
me is why it works, because it gets out quick.
Weil ich schnell
next one.
aufhört. Okay. Nächstes Spiel. Oh. Ein Horror-Game. Du betrittst nun. Na? Das Schild ist auch weg. Ich weiß jetzt gar nicht, ob ich richtig gehe. Falsch gehe. Man hat nur einen Lichtspot hier über diesen kleinen Bereich, den man sieht. Du betrittst nun.
And that's it. Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Dezember?
Oftentimes, Coda would put bizarre titles like this one at the start of his games.
Oh.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Ich auch nicht, aber ich gehe jetzt mal die Treppe hoch. Stellt euch das mal vor, ihr wacht auf und dann steht ihr hier auf so einen Dingen mit so einen Blöcken. Ich weiß nicht, ob man denn noch glaubt, dass man lebt oder ob das real ist, was man erlebt. Und ich kann gar nicht mehr.
Once you've been slowed to an absolute
Ganz
crawl,
langsam öffnet
the
sich die
door
Tür
at
am
the top
Ende der
of the
Treppe.
stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all? Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
Ich presse Enter. Aha. Das andere Enter. Huch. Du läufst herum und redest Leuten ihre Träumungen und Hoffnungen aus. Das Spiel besteht nur aus riesigen Textblöcken, in denen erklärt, was vorgeht. Du beginnst in einen kleinen Raum, bis du bemerkst, dass du einfach nur durch die Wände gehen kannst. Ein Fremder erscheint. Du musst mit einer Meute neugieriger Pressereporter sprechen. Ein Spiel, das nur aus Postern und Entwürfen besteht.
Tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
Ein U drücken, um aufzugeben, eine Taste drücken, um das Chaos zu wenden. Ich kann doch gar nicht durch die Mauern gehen. Huch! Auf die Fische, fertig, los. Sind wir jetzt im Bad? Aha. So. Also sind das jetzt hier alles nur Spielfragmente oder... Ah,
Well, this is new for Coda. It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Oh, ich versuche es zu lösen. Oh. Kann ich den nochmal betätigen? Ich spiele mich jetzt mal ein. Was hältet ihr denn davon? Hier geht die Tür ja nicht auf und Licht haben wir nicht. Oh.
Don't forget that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're gonna see it a lot.
Schöne Musik. Ich hoffe, ich bin zu verstehen. Ich gehe mal dichter ans Mikro. Aber Option, Sound. Wir machen mal so. Die Musik wird aber nicht leiser. Spiel, Sound. Na.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor, you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Oh. Oh, stark. Treppen. Ohne Ende Treppen.
There was more to it than we had any way of
Oh,
knowing.
nicht so weit.
I actually find it funny that this game comes after the stairs game, since they essentially convey the opposite idea.
Ah, ich kann nicht weitergehen.
So, in the stairs game, a dull exterior concealed a rich interior. And then, in this level, a dull interior hides this fantastic outer world. Either way, I think that the point is the same, is that most of the time you don't get to know what you're missing, or even that you're missing anything. That's not your role as a player. So if your role here is not to understand, then what is it?
Huch. Ach, jetzt sind wir wieder hier. Du verlässt nun. Das kennen wir schon.
Aha. So, this, combined with the entering game from earlier, tells us that Coda believes his games are connected somehow. It could even be that the stairs game and the puzzle game are literally connected in between this and the entering game. There's a bigger picture that all of his games are meant to play a role in, some larger meaning that we won't be able to grasp until we've seen all of them. And once we have, we can step back and start to understand what exactly that bigger picture is.
Ach, das war wieder nur ein Übergang. Zum nächsten. Oben geblieben ist noch keiner, das stimmt. Fallen wir jetzt runter? Oh, ein Haus. Ein Café.
Let's talk about video game development for a second. Every video game runs on what's called an engine, which determines what the game can and cannot do. So in other words, the engine is a set of tools for game development.
Aha.
To make all of these games, Coda is using an engine called Source. Like all engines, Source has certain things that it does well, and it has certain things that it does poorly. One of the things that it does very well is boxy linear corridors. That's why so many of Coda's games are set in these large, flat, empty rooms, is just because he's working with what the engine does well. The tools available to the creator shape what kinds of creative work they're going to end up making. You might consider paying attention to the architecture in Coda's games, to notice how they seem to stem from an engine that's very good at producing linear, boxy corridors.
Huch. So, nun? Ach, hier. Hier? Echt? Oh. Ah, es gibt wohl keinen Fallschaden. Bin ich denn jetzt hier richtig? Ich weiß es nicht. Oh, jetzt bin ich da. Ach so. Das war die Abkürzung.